Hello, Living. Good evening.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, welcome to the show. We're still left with Grace.
All right.
Okay.
Good evening. I believe you
Good
can hear
evening.
me.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
How was your Sunday service?
Sunday service was great.
Okay, that's good. All right.
I believe you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think we can start before Grace joins us.
Grace
Okay,
needs to
hello
join
everyone.
us.
Welcome to the Janiba Ginger Show. This is our fourth edition. We are sorry we couldn't have the last session. It was because of the small issue we have with the new restrictions that were put by Instagram. We are very thankful for our followers who are willing to support us and get us to where we are today. So all that is history. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm hoping you're all having a lovely evening. We're soon going to be joined by our third host, Grace, the dietitian Grace. She has been the co-host on the show. Janiba Ginger has always been about healthy living, healthy lifestyle. And we don't just always want to be talking, we want to walk the talk. And that was what gave us the initiative to come up with this forum where we can have our viewers online, come up with their various maybe health challenges or questions they have on healthy living and healthy lifestyle. It's not just tailored for juices and smoothies. It's just how to maintain a general healthy well-being. So our topic for today, for this month, is the remote work on your plate. COVID-19 left a very wonderful legacy, or what should I say, a very wonderful system for us. Before COVID, not a lot of us were very much into remote work. But when COVID came, it came with that culture, that work culture. And we realized that it's something that has come to stay, as many other things that came with COVID and how we had to tackle the situation. So it was just something that we felt we should, see how even we ourselves, almost everyone somehow works remotely. So we'll just come up with a way in which we can find avenues to be able to help ourselves or guide ourselves to have a better, a healthier lifestyle. Okay, Grace is on now. Let me try to make her join. Okay, Grace, are you on? Can you hear me? Thank you, Choma. Yes, she says very true. By the way, one of our viewers, her name is Choma. She's like a big sister to me. She's also someone that has a podcast that deals with parenting and coaching. So I've learned a lot from her as
No.
well. She's joining us here, and she may also have a few questions to help us. Okay, Grace, welcome.
That's interesting.
Yes, it's lovely to have her on. She's like a big sister. All right. Before we go on, okay, Living, let me start. I was hoping for Grace to come before I introduce the speaker. So we have with us somebody who is going to be like our perfect example or our perfect testimony of how the remote work has affected his eating culture. And we have with us, his name is Living Ovieima. Hope I didn't crucify that name. He's a consultant, designer, brand strategist, and founder of Sprite Creative Services, a creative agency dedicated to helping businesses clarifying their branding and marketing strategy so they can grow and become more profitable. He has worked with more than 20 businesses across Nigeria and abroad to achieve this goal. So we're dealing with somebody who lives in front of the computer. I think even before COVID, that was his lifestyle. So it'd be lovely to hear how Living has been able to handle it. Because Living looks very healthy.
I'm even actually in front of a computer right now.
Exactly, I know. So he's here to give us like a first person's experience of what the remote work has done to his eating culture and ways in which he has been able to tackle it. Then we also will be having with us dietitian Grace Abasiri Mochonogo. She's a registered dietitian, nutritionist specializing in medical nutrition therapy for individuals managing chronic diseases like hypertension, kidney diseases, PCOS, and diabetes. She has over 7 years of experience as a registered dietitian, and she believes that nutrition should be practical and enjoyable through realistic meal plans, habit changes, and evidence-based strategies. So Grace has actually been with Janiba Ginger since our inception. She has helped us design our menu. She guided us on what to put, how to help our clients when they call with different health concerns and maybe healthy diets or healthy juices or smoothies they may want to incorporate into their lifestyle to help them manage their situation. So she's someone that has been in the picture for a long time. She's worked in many prestigious institutions like Gyoki General Hospital. When I met her at Gyoki General Hospital actually. So she's someone that I know that we can learn a lot from as a dietitian if we're able to get her to join us, because we're still struggling with getting her on. So before I invite Grace, or before Grace comes on, we can start with living. So the last time, our last show actually was on this same topic, and we got good feedback from the public. That was what made us come back to discuss it again. A few people were very interested in what we had to say because we came up with a number of tips that one could incorporate into their diet plans to help them manage their health and still be productive in the work front. Because the idea is to be realistic. I think remote work is here to stay, and somehow all of us are going to be affected in one way or the other as far as you are, in the working system. So Grace gave us some she gave us some tips, which, okay, Grace is here finally. Welcome, Grace. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right, glad to have you. How was your day? How is your day going?
Beautiful, yes.
All right. Okay, that's great. So I'm happy Grace is here. So I think we'll start with Grace then before leaving. So last time, Grace gave us some very good tips on ways in which we can manage, our diets, in a healthy way and still be able to be productive on the work front. Because like I said, it's here to stay. It's a culture that we can't do away with. So it's about finding a way to manage it. And especially those of us that have certain health conditions. Like me, I'm somebody who has dealt with hyperthyroidism. And I was able to tackle or manage hyperthyroidism through my healthy diets. So that's why I'm somebody who can first of all tell you and testify that if you eat well, food itself is medicine. If it's used well, you realize that yes, there's always a place for conventional medicine, because there's a reason why we have them. They are there for us. They definitely helped me when I was fighting hyperthyroidism. But the only way I could really overcome that condition or manage it very well was by changing my diet and maintain a healthy lifestyle. So I'm the first person to say that food is medicine. Let's not underestimate the power of food. As far as you are eating well and managing it well, you find that you are very productive in various in various areas and departments of your life. So Grace, I'll start with you today. Last time we talked about how quick fixes like trendy diets and juices aren't sustainable. In this work life, I remember telling you that I liked when the thing that during COVID I was in school doing my master's program. So one way I dealt with it was having healthy juices, healthy smoothies in the morning while I was listening to lectures online and talking to my supervisor. I'll have maybe a big cup of smoothie of this, that, because at that time, like I said, I was dealing with hyperthyroidism. But when I presented that to Grace, she agreed, but also said that it's not a sustainable way of living. I'll be cheating myself if I just believe that relying on such things or such smoothies. I need to incorporate food and other things into my system to have a holistic management of my health. So I just want to put it today that can you give us more enlightenment on that point that you made, that, you know, how quick fixes like trendy diets and juices are not sustainable, especially when you're trying to manage a healthy life and you have a very busy remote work culture.
Okay, thank you. So that's building on our last event, right? Our last program.
Yes.
I think from your experience, how long were you able to do that?
Honestly, you know, for me, I can be very disciplined. I was able to do that for a while because, like I said, I had a regimen I had created on what I needed to eat for my medication for hyperthyroidism to work effectively. So I wasn't doing it as, okay, I have to, it wasn't food to me, it was like medicine to me. So it was something that I did consciously. So I did it, it was actually for a very, very long time till the symptoms of the condition subsided. I was doing that for a significant amount of time.
Okay, so you were able to do that for a certain period of time. But for something to be sustainable, we are looking at long term, right? It's not something you do 3 months or 6 months and that's it. We're looking at something that can become a lifestyle, like a culture, you know, your everyday kind of life. That's what we look at as sustainable. So having that regimen is kind of restrictive. So it's not going to be long-term sustainable. Like what happened with most people is when they get results, they tend to pull back. That's because there was the reason they were pursuing this thing. It's not really necessary to stay healthy because there is a condition attached to it. So when they get a result at some point, they pull back. But we don't know that pulling back on the long run, whatever it is could resurface, right? So what we look at is, what can I do that it becomes a part of me, that I don't have to struggle so much. Now, in the area of remote work, people are busy really these days and always on the system. I think I heard Libby saying he's even on the system right now. So are you going to be doing this every day? And the juice is not going to, how long is it going to stay? Like, it shouldn't stay for some certain amount of period, right? So is it something you can do daily? For some people, for most people, realistically, it's not something they can do daily, right? So one thing about sustainability when it comes to nutrition is you gradually start something. If you're picking different habits that you feel that are going to be good on the long term, you don't stretch so much. Make it easy. If it becomes monotonous, or if it becomes like a job to you, then you get tired easily. So what I advise is look for something that works. An example of what works, if you're looking at, okay, I'm going to be taking fruits daily because the recommendation is 2 to 3 fruits in a day, for instance. You can start with one. If it's something you're not used to, right? You start with one. That way, you are able to keep to that one, and gradually you integrate into it and it becomes a lifestyle. But if you have it in your head, like, oh, I'm supposed to have 2 fruits or 3 fruits today, I must make sure I do it, and you achieve it today, there's a possibility you will not be able to achieve it tomorrow. But if you're able to achieve one, then there's possibility for you to continue and improve over time. So that's what sustainability is about, something you can easily integrate into your lifestyle and not a restrictive regimen, kind of.
Okay, that's very helpful. That's very good. So last time you also gave us like how you, as a registered dietitian yourself, the things you did that helped you to manage your healthy eating, or have healthy eating habits, especially being a mom and and all that. You gave us some. So can you run us through them again before we proceed to living? Hello, Grace, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, though it's breaking.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I said,
although it's breaking, but I think
okay, I don't have to repeat what I said.
I think you asked if I can give the breakdown from our last live section on sustainable habits people working from home can practice, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've worked from home for 1 year now, approximately 1 year. So initially it wasn't easy, right? So but over time, I think one of the things I would really recommend for everyone on this call that works from home is to try in between your work to take movements, right? Already working from home has a way of making you have a sedentary lifestyle because you're no longer up and about, moving and all. So what can you do to help while you are on your desk working? Okay, you could set reminders. You could use the smart wristwatch that can count your steps daily, right? So those are one way that you can be able to ensure that you are getting your work. Now, those reminders does not necessarily mean that you must take that 30 minutes daily. It could be 10 minutes as you're working. You could stand fresh, do something. Some people have this working pad they keep by the side. So just 10 minutes walk on your treadmill, whatever can help, right? It doesn't have to be must do 1 hour. So like I said, gradually, right? So, and another thing you can do when it has to do with your food is to try to do meal prepping. Pick a day that works perfect for you. It depends if your remote work is structured. Maybe you have a particular day you are free. You can decide to do cooking that day. Then portion in place that is easy for you to just lift, rather than staying without having any meal. Like the time to prepare meal in between work may not be realistic, right? And then if you have a family, that's a lot of work if you want to do that. So batch prepping your meal and then shopping, getting your things in bulk would actually ease your affairs, okay? Then keeping around you your snacks. The snacks, you know that when I take it, you're not going to feel so guilt, like you're not going to feel like you are munching on something that you shouldn't. Because one thing this remote work does is that it has a way of, because you're at home, your fridge is there, so you can easily bing on something, like anything around you. So keeping those things that you know that are good for you, like nuts, your fruits, your vegetables. Like when I say vegetable, I'm not talking of vegetable soup. I'm talking of something like cucumber, carrot, garden eggs, or those finger foods that you can easily pick, granules, peanuts, cashew nuts. Now, when you have those available, if it's what you have, that is what you will reach out for. And now they for you. But if you have those fizzy kind of snacks, fizzy drinks, the regular, that is what you reach out for. So make sure that what is in your environment, in your work, or whether your fridge or your desk, is something that you take it, you'll be proud of yourself, understand? So those just a few things that you can do.
Okay. So basically ensure that in your cabinet where you have food, you have food that's anytime you snack on it, there's no guilt, and you know that whatever you're eating is adding value to your body and helping you to be more effective as a worker. But at the same time, you know, just to add to what she said, one also has to be realistic. And like she also told me that for how long could I sustain myself living off health smoothies in the morning? You know, the way for me, the way the body is, it's like she said, it gets tired of one thing or one kind of thing. What do I mean by one kind of thing? Once in a while, we need to munch on things that are just, you know, there to keep us happy. So like comfort food. So like, for example, you know, once in a while you may want to snack on those potato crisps. Another time you may want to, you know, chow down on ice cream. There's nothing bad in it, because I think there's a particular hormone that Sangres, correct me here, from what I hear from reading, you know, reading broad on the issue. There's a particular hormone that eating these comfort foods also gives your body, which makes you happy. It's called a happy hormone.
For me,
Exactly. So, in as much as I'm somebody who believes in healthy living. Once in a while, we need to come out of that and just do something just to make yourself happy. And if you are doing that as well, it can also break the pressure of the work. You know, it can make the pressure of the work and make it something that it's easier to even do and manage. You know, because if you have in your head, I want to be healthy, and then you are also trying to be productive in the office or on the work front. Sometimes the pressure, you need something to kind of escape, like something to kind of free yourself. So just to add to what that Shangrace, I think it's always good to have a mix of everything in your cabinet. Where you should just about knowing how to ingest this and ingest that, like not overdoing one or the other, but having a balanced attitude to your eating habits. Okay, so I think it's time to now invite Living. Okay, Living, so you have lived in front of the computer even before COVID. So tell us, and you look good. You look
Thank
bright,
you.
you look fresh. I don't know if it's the Bielsa air, but you look well. So I'm guessing you're eating well as well.
Thank
So
you.
please tell us,
Thank you.
what's the secret? Let's see if we can learn from you too.
Okay, me first and foremost, thank you for having me here. I've me from the onset, even before I actually ventured into working remotely in 2020, and
Okay.
that is when I even started my business. And so, but from the onset, I've never really been this snacky person. I've
Okay.
never really been like eat here, eat there, eat just snack and snack. I've never really been. I was not raised like that. I was raised to, eat normal food, eat normal food. But I would not say I was really serious with it. I was not really serious with eating balanced diet or something like that until when I got sick. When I got sick with malaria and I almost fainted. That should be like 2 years ago or so. So that changed everything. I started trying to incorporate fruits and stuff like into my diet. But I must say that as a remote worker, as someone who works remotely, who work with people in Yenagoye and outside, and I must say that of course my eating habit has changed. Because, for example, sometimes before I would eat, it would take a long time. I will be honest with that. It will take a long time for me to eat. Maybe sometimes I can even skip breakfast. Yes. Sometimes I can skip it, not intentionally, but simply because of maybe workload and since I can actually work from home or I can go to my office, I can work from home. So once I'm working from home, and if there is power, if there's power, sometimes I don't eat.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes I don't eat until maybe 11, 12. That's when I'll eat. And it actually affects me. Yes, I will not say that I am someone who has weight, but it will tell on me. So yeah, I would say that remote work have actually changed our eating habit, and it's kind of like the new normal. Like remote work is kind of like the new normal. So as you've been saying, it has come to stay, and that is it. And for a rising generation, like for example the Gen Z, which occupies most of the workforce today, we love freedom, so to speak, because that is what remote work gives to us. But it has really affected the way we eat, because I can stay at home and I'll be eating. If for example now I'm working and I don't really have that time to cook good food and eat noodles, just, and it does something long term. It does something to our health long term.
Of course it does.
Because when we do it, when we do it, that realization, when we do it over time, it affects our health. So that's what I can say at first. That's what I can see.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Sorry, Grace, we're going to say something.
The whole idea of remote work, if you haven't experienced it, a lot of people may think getting a remote work makes your life easier. Somehow, yes, it's supposed to make your life easier, but what about your health? What about your health? Does it make your health easier? Like what he said, like you could stay without eating. I experienced it for a long time. The first 4 months when I started using it was a lot, because I noticed I was carrying work over. So because I carry work over, I'm almost always exhausted. So I sleep, and my work is actually structured. It's 9 to 5 as much as it's remote. So but I noticed that most times I'm waking up some minutes to 9. So when you wake up some minutes, when are you going to eat? Do you understand? So I just rush into the system and I will sit and I'm working. I don't even remember that I've not stood up. I'll be working until maybe my break is usually 1. That's when it will dawn on me that you've not eaten, no, you've not even done anything. You probably just brushed and then landed on the system. So it happened to me like that for a long time until I needed to wake up. I needed to wake up because I began to have some pain. I think I told you about it, Miss Jane. I began to have some pain and needed me to be in the hospital. So the first question doctor asked me is, how long do you sit? And that's when it dawned on me, like, oh, I've been sitting for long. And after that, 5 p.m., I'm facing the family. So I didn't really make time for exercise to move. So it just is a loop. It just keeps recurring until you become intentional. Like you don't have to wait for motivation really, because I like to see motivation as the weather. You know, the way the weather changes. Like when we were about starting this thing, it was raining, and now it's no longer raining. So it changes. It just, that's what motivation. That's how it is. So your motivation can be up today, tomorrow is down. But discipline is, you just have to find a way to make this work, and because you have a goal in mind. So after my experience with the doctor and all, I had to find a way to, like, I have to take a walk. So evening, most times after 4 p.m., I try. And the beautiful thing is, my boss made sure that 5 p.m. we're done with work is we're done with work. So anything you're doing after 5 p.m. is on you. She has done her part. So after that 5 p.m., I try to take my walk, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on my energy, sometimes 1 hour. And there are still days I am not able to do it. Frankly speaking, there are days I'm not able to do it, but you just have to be intentional enough to try. You have to try, even on days you're not able to do it. You don't have to sit there feeling like you've not done anything. Okay, you have to. Then when it comes to food, you can sit on your system and you're eating. It's actually not a good practice. Okay. Now I won't say that there's any science that says it's not a good practice, but while you are working, you're eating something, you may not be able to know when to stop. Because those speak once in the end back on your system. So you don't know when you have gone over or below. So the right thing to actually do when you're working remotely, if you're going to have to eat, map out time for everything. This is time for food. Okay.
That's just it.
It helps you practice mindfulness. But if you don't practice mindfulness, you're just going to either undo or overdo. I don't know how to put it, but you have to, that time for food, you eat your food. If it is time for breakfast, so what I try to do these days, if I'm able to wake up early, that's what I try to do. I make sure I have my breakfast before I get on the system. So if I'm able to have that breakfast, I'm sure that the energy will sustain me till that break hour, which I can then do lunch. But see what happens on days I'm not able to eat. On days I'm not able to eat, when it's time to not eat, I will overeat. Because the stress hormone, the cortisol is up and about. You'll be stressing me. So I'll overeat. So that place for balance is important.
It's necessary. I think Living was discussing about the question we received. Somebody had asked about, okay, Living is here. Okay, Living, sorry, the network is bad, everybody. We apologize. You were talking about answering a question for us.
Okay, yes. The question I was answering is somebody asked that, like, he struggles with deciding what to eat. What can he do? I understand that perfectly because I do experience that sometimes. So in cases that I'm able to know what to eat, for example, in the morning, I might have cooked something the previous day, maybe in the evening. Another way he can actually, or another way a remote worker can actually know what to eat is to decide in advance. Let's say tomorrow night is Monday, right? Tomorrow is Monday. So what the person can do is to decide, what am I going to eat in the morning? So you don't wait for the morning to come, because the moment you don't know what to eat, your default mode as someone who works remotely, works from home, the default mode is simply to just walk. That's just it. That's the default mode. I'm just telling you from experience. The default mode is to just walk, because you say, after all, I can just eat. You can just buy one snacks, biscuits, and drink. You just you get to that. So what you should do is simply to decide in advance what, like, today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. Decide, what am I going to eat? If you're fully working from home, For example, now me now,
Yeah.
I don't fully work from home. There are some days I work from home. There are sometimes I go to the office. So if you're working fully from home, decide what to eat the day before. So today is Sunday now. Decide what to eat tomorrow morning. Then, if it's possible, cook something good. If you have fridge, cook and keep in the fridge. Like me now, this morning, today after I closed from church, I cooked beans. I cooked beans for tomorrow. I've eaten the beans for today. Now when tomorrow comes, I know that I have good beans to eat, and it's good for my brain. Since and I garnished it with egg. So beans and egg. I know combo, very good. Yes. So it's good for my brain because my work is creativity. It's good for my brain. Gives me protein so that I can think and be creative. So I've prepared it. So when tomorrow comes, I know that I'm going to eat beans. I'm not going to stress myself. So and me, I'm the kind of person that if food is available, that's the first thing I do. Very important. First thing I do. If food is available, that's the first thing I do. So simple. Decide what you're going to eat today. Decide like what you're going to eat tomorrow. Decide it today. Decide it today. If not, your default mode is you're just going to work. I can promise you that. So that's what I can say. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Living. That's very, very helpful. I mean, it still goes back to what Grace initially said. She said that meal prepping is very good, and also having a what do you call it? Set plans. You know, so we still go back to that. We see that we see that in your example to our viewer that raised that question. So it's very good to meal prep, and to meal prep, what you feel is what you need to eat that next day. For you, it's beans and the eggs, which is a lovely combination. So I think that's a good one. So I was also talking about I don't know if I had okay.
Something yeah, regarding the question the person asked. Okay, so I think one of the challenges with what to eat is that we are used to kind of talking less of our food in Nigeria. Okay, so we look at our food as, oh, it's not healthy, is this, is that. Okay, so one way to actually deal with that is if you can have a meal plan. Now, a meal plan is a structured kind of timetable, right? So you have your breakfast, your lunch, your snack, and dinner. You may not be able to follow it the way it is structured, but at least if it is in your kitchen, if you have a place you paste it, you have options. So that helps you. You don't need to crack your head with what am I going to eat and what am I not going to eat. So you have options. Now, for people who are not dietitian or nutritionist to make a meal plan, what I tell them is, you know what you already eat in the house. So take a paper and pen, write them down. With that, you be able to say, okay, Monday to Thursday, these are the things I'm going to have. So then you prepare ahead. Because if you have it written down, actually, there's something about you writing. If you have it written down, like journal, it reminds you easily than you having to think about it. So if it is written, it makes your life easy. So you know that, okay, if tomorrow I'm going to have beans, like Living said, that's what is there. You make plan today. But if you're going to start thinking, what am I going to eat tomorrow? You're not able to come up with anything. You just like that tomorrow. So it's good to have a meal plan if possible.
Okay, thank you for that. So like I had also thrown a question to dietitian Grace. I said, what type of foods are very good for people that spend a lot of time in front of the screen? What type of foods or vitamins should they look towards incorporating more into their diets that can help with the sedentary life and always being in front of the screen?
Okay, there is no particular food. You say these are the best food. Okay, the goal is you are trying to stay healthy and remain healthy. So the goal is eating in line with what you are looking at for. So it's not because you're on the system. So this particular food is best. So, but I like to describe this plate method. What is good for you, even if you're not working on the system all the time. So half your plate should be vegetables. So now the vegetables have your vitamins, your minerals, okay, and the fiber, the indigestible kind of carbohydrates. Then the other half you divide into two: 1/4 protein, 1/4 carbohydrates. So that way, what it does, you're able to get most all the nutrients you need in that plate pattern, and then you're able to portion. So there is no particular type of food in that your plate that you're having protein and carbohydrates. You're looking at omega-3 fatty acids, that is healthy fats, unsaturated fats from your proteins, right? Then the carbohydrates, you're looking at whole grains. You're looking at whole grains, something like you have plantain, potatoes, you have your brown rice or fada rice. I think what's regular here is fada rice. Okay, you have fada rice. You have whole wheat bread, like whole grains. Then for your vegetables, variety as much as you want it. So now what if you do that pattern, you would see you're talking about 50% of vegetable in your food, right? So that curtails other you're taking. So it helps you to stay in portion and eat adequately. That pattern helps you to eat adequately. But if you're going to just have rice, for instance, and you just do rice in your plate, stew, you may not be able to have a diet.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Okay, living on your own side, I mean, apart from the beans and eggs that you've prepped against tomorrow, what sort of exercises do you do?
Okay.
Or in lifestyle to help with sedentary life?
Okay. I would mention two things. The first one is try to expose your eyes to early morning sun. Morning sun. I don't know the medical name for that. I think that Grace would know, but expose your eyes to early morning sun, not that early morning sun that has what is even called. You expose your eyes. Yes, expose your eyes to that because it's good for your eyes. Then another thing again for those of us that always look at the screen. We should try to get anti-blue ray glasses like this one that I'm wearing now. This is an anti-blue ray glass. I always put it on because like before I got this glass, I can tell you that I struggled to sleep. I struggled to sleep. Yes, because of always looking, because as long as I'm awake, I'm looking at the screen. That's just it. That's the life. Wow. As long as I am awake, I'm looking at the screen. If it's not my computers, it will be my phones. Except I'm asleep. So I'll be looking at the screen for hours and hours. And the light that comes out from these screens, they are harmful to the eyes. They just come into the eyes. So at least with an anti-blue ray glass like this one now. So it filters that light inside. And since I started using this glass, since I started wearing anti-blue ray glasses, I can sleep peacefully, and I don't wake up a lot. I don't wake up a lot. I don't wake up a lot in the night. Before, I used to wake up a lot of times. So please, if you're maybe a graphic designer or something like that, please get one of these glasses. Please get it. Very important. Very, very important. Get these glasses because it will help you. Maybe you can share in your comments, share your experience. Like sometimes you close your eyes to sleep and it's just as if you should just open it again. I don't know. Somebody should confirm that. If you close your eyes, it will be as if you just open the eyes because the eyes are tired because of over time you'll be looking at the screen. So get this kind of glasses. So those are the two things.
Completely, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it will filter the lights. It will not come directly into your eyes. It will like bounce the light back. So I always put it on. So those are the two things. Expose your eyes to sunlight. At least I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty, but I try to still practice it from time to time. At least the first light that should come into your eyes should be like vitamin D. That is sunlight. Early morning sunlight, at least. Like I said, we don't always practice it. I would say we don't always practice it, but it is still good. Let us try as much as we can. So before you pick up your phone, just if you're like, my window is close to nature, so I can just open my window and just bring out my face. Some people just see me and look, what is this guy doing? But they don't know that I'm actually helping my eyes. So,
yes.
yeah. So those are the two things.
Okay.
So those are the
there's someone that concurs with you. Mm-hmm. There's someone that actually concurs with you in one of the viewers. Y_Ray says, facts, those glasses are important. So there's no overemphasizing the importance of getting those. You said anti-blurry glasses. Is that what you said?
Anti-blurry glasses.
Okay, anti-blurry glasses. Okay, so we have to make it, an important note to get that. Okay, so
this is good for anybody. It's not just for remote workers. It's good for everybody, because our eyes, because like we live in the mobile generation, the tech age. So by and large, we are always exposed to this blurry glass, and it's not just this blurry glass. It's not just from our phones, even televisions. Yes, television. So it's good for anybody to protect your eyes.
Okay. So like I also said, what kind of exercises do you incorporate living into your lifestyle to support you? Since you're always in front of the computer, do you have to take walks? Or are there exercises Okay.
Yeah. I take walks. Sometimes when I close from church, my is far from my church. Sometimes when I close from church, I do have transportation fare. But I can just, or sometimes my pastor can even say, okay, let us give you a lift. But I will just say, and Daddy, I've been sitting down and walking all day long. I want to take a walk. So I'll just walk from my house, and I'll just walk from church to house. So that is one of the things I do. I walk. And even after this session, I'm going to take a walk. Just to, so that's one of the things I do. And sometimes I do push-ups. I do push-ups sometimes. Okay. Yes. So these are the two things I try to do, because I'm always sitting down, and it tells on my neck. I know some people will start confirming it. It's ear and your waist, because of your neck is kind of like you're bending your neck. So there are some things you can even buy. Like I started buying some stuff to put my system so that I can sit upright.
Yeah.
I can sit upright and look directly into the system rather than bending my neck, because it affects my neck and my waist, which affects the spine, or it affects the way I even stand upright. So these are the things I do, and I think if you do it, it will make a difference in your life.
Okay. So for the neck, would we say, is a neck brace going to extreme? Getting the neck brace to wear once in a while, or that's not necessary?
I don't know. I've not thought of that. And again, another thing again in this aspect is even the chair you're sitting on. Yes.
Yes, I was going to say ask about my too.
The chair too. The chair. So the chair can also contribute to sitting posture that affects your waist and your neck. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think in everything that we have heard is a lot. We've heard a lot, and the important thing is to try to process it and see how we can incorporate it into our lifestyle. It's not something that we can achieve overnight. That's what I want everybody to know. It's something that may take a little time, but one step at a time, or what's that saying? 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's a gradual thing. You just pace yourself, and just once in a while, not once in a while. Once in a while, you may miss it. You may what do you call it? You may get off track, but don't be discouraged. You can just keep doing it, and gradually it will become a practice, it will become a habit. It's a lot we have heard today, and it takes a while to apply, but they are all very helpful. Everybody here is a living testimony of that in the various ways that this healthy culture has helped us to be able to handle or manage our lifestyles wisely and healthily. So I think it's over 30 minutes now. We usually don't stay more than 30 minutes, but we're willing to extend it if there's anyone that has any more questions for our dietitian. Our viewers, does anybody have any questions for our dietitian or for our guest speaker, Mr. Living? Please, you can put them in the comment section and they can answer them for you. Okay, Y_Ray is asking dietitian Grace, what are you drinking? So please, dietitian Grace, what are you drinking?
This beetroot juice. Beetroot juice from Janiba Gingers. Yeah.
All right, so there you have it, Y_Ray. Thank you for your question. Is there any more questions? You can just give them a little, maybe like 5 minutes. Any more questions to our viewers? Really, thank you for joining us today. We've had quite a few attendants.
Someone said in the comment section that I really didn't know Nigerian foods can be used for dieting.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think it was based on Living's advice, combination of beans and an egg. And
very, 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 very proteinous.
Okay.
Very, very proteinous. You should try it. Try it.
You know why people have the idea, the notion that Nigerian food cannot be used for dieting is because somehow, let's say we overeat or kind of. Okay. Now our foods are actually very perfect. Like, they are good. Now you don't have to look for imported things. For instance, you want omega-3 fatty acid, and someone is telling you salmon fish that is rich in omega-3. Yes, it's rich in omega-3.
Yeah.
But your bread, the regular fish you have in the market in Nigeria, is equally rich in omega-3. So why are you looking for something that far, something that deep? It's easy, right? So we have, within our food system, we have things that are very good, but then we prefer the processed, the more packaged, those ones that are real, your yam, your plantain, your potato, your everything. They are good. They are good. So you don't have to look out for imported things for you to eat healthy, eat well. You just need to understand what works best for you.
Yes. I agree that Grace. The thing is that if we want to confirm if Nigerian food is healthy, or let's go to the village.
Yes, let's go to the village.
My grandfather was a farmer. I don't know what age that man died, but he was very strong. He never wore glasses. Of course, he died of old age, but he was still very strong. And what did they used to eat there? There's this delicacy where I come from, that they just roast the yam. They don't eat it with palm oil per se. They just eat the roasted yam, because the yam that they produce from my place has a particular sweet taste to it. So they live off things like that. I know that they are active because, like, he was a farmer and he also had lots of cattle. So in the mornings, in his old age, you see him going, and he would take the cattle up the hill to, for where there's pasture. So and he lived long. I don't remember my grandfather even. Yeah, probably he walked with a stick towards the end of his days, but he was very strong. He was very sound. It was just like when he was, old age, and of course he passed on. Then I also have, I schooled in Jos, my high school, and sometimes I used to go into the villages sometimes to just interact with the villagers. And you see some of them with beautiful skin. They don't have access to our vitamins that we get from our body. So I think it's for us to give our foods a chance. If we, our oil, our food, give it a chance. It's just to know how to incorporate what with what to get, combine. But I will confidently say part of how I fought my hyperthyroidism was guava leaf juice. I didn't have to undergo any surgery, So we have a lot. We are blessed in this country. We have a lot. And if we try to tap into them, I'm very, very sure that we'll find that God has really blessed us. We're not lacking in anything. Why Ray says is this?
Somehow.
Why? Okay.
I want to make a comment on that. Sometimes the reason why we think our food are not based on the question, sometimes it's just mindset. There's a mindset that we have of Nigeria, of Africa. So those mindset kind of like, it will surprise you when you have done it. It will surprise you when you maybe you go on ChatGPT and you ask, can you give me a 30-day meal plan on how a 30-day meal plan on Nigerian food, or it can even be specific. For example, now I asked AI and I told I'm from the south, and can you give me local food based on that to build or to? And I was surprised. AI was actually giving me ideas like meal plan that can actually help me to add weight, to gain weight. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you'll be surprised that we have food, like we have food. So we need to change our mindset. On that,
please. Okay. Yeah. The AI is going to give you a generic advice, really. Okay. There are other factors to consider before you actually get a meal plan. So that's like a generic advice. So if you're on this call and you have a specific need, yes, your AI is going to give you something, but there are other things to factor in. Your age is there, your weight is there, your height, your health condition, your health status, is there, right? And then your calorie requirement, which it needs proper calculation to get that. So like generic thing may not really work for everyone.
Okay, thank you for that.
So I was just giving the example of like we have a lot of foods. From that, we have a lot of food. So we need to just change our mindset concerning like food in Nigeria. So our food actually can help us, in our health and our diet.
Okay, we have a question from Wairi. She says, "Is beans a good meal for those trying to lose weight and still remain healthy?" Dietitian Grace.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, beans is a very good food for anyone trying to lose weight and to remain healthy. You get so now what makes it a good food is it's a complex type of carbohydrate with protein, and then it has adequate fiber. For 1 cup of cooked beans, now you'll be getting about 15 to 16 grams of fiber. So that's a lot. And for an adult, you need about 25 grams of fiber in a day. So imagine getting 16 or 15 from 1 cup of cooked beans. So that's it. And then it has protein. It has the kind of carbohydrate that is not easily digested that can overspike the sugar level, because the process of your sugar going high after food is very normal. Okay, so but there is a level when it becomes abnormal, right? So beans is a slow releasing kind of carbohydrates. Very, very good. Yeah. Yes, it's good.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Where are you fine with that answer? Did you want to ask more?
That means I'll be eating beans daily.
Beans is your best food.
No, beans is not my best food.
All right. Okay. I think. Okay. Wairi says thank you. Thank you to Wairi for all your questions. Thank you to everyone. Our live session is about to end. It's already giving me warning signs. So thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. Please join us. We will have future shows where we will discuss more about healthy living, and we'll definitely post the upcoming topics, on our media handle for your attention. And if you have any questions for us, please throw them. We're here to help you. We're here to be there for your health. That's our goal in Janiba Ginger. Thank you so much, Dietitian Grace. Thank you so much, Living, for taking out time to be here with us. We appreciate you. Okay, Dietitian Grace, you have one more thing to say?
Yeah, as we round up, I want to encourage everyone to make use of what's in season. Okay, eat what is in season. Fruits, vegetables that are in season. Please benefit from them. Like one thing I miss so much now is avocado, because it's out of season, but you can still get it. Just that it's quite expensive. But whatever you get in season, make use of it. Nigeria has good things, vegetables, fruits. Please, anyone is like currently we have corn. Eat moderately. Just play around with our food.
And drink Janiba ginger. Drink Janiba ginger. Yes, very, very important. Drink Janiba ginger. Drink Janiba, because these are good ways.
This is actually very good for high blood pressure.
Yeah, right? The beetroot juice. Yes.
Drink Janiba ginger. That's what I would say. That's what I would say at the end of this. Drink Janiba ginger. And drink water. Yes, drink water.
And water. All
right, everyone. Water.
Yeah. Very, very important. Water especially. Water. Drink water. Drink water.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, and I wish you a lovely week ahead. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. How do you... almost 30 minutes.